Nice to meet you.
And you.
What a beautiful film.
Thank you very much.
It's just not only the cinematography, just looking at it, you know, as a film on the screen, which it is, it's beautiful. The scenery, I loved it, and the story is great.
Thank you.
So kudos to you.
And to everyone that made the film.
Yes. But did her role, as we say in Texas, Catrin, as we say in Texas, Catrin is one tough cookie. She
is, isn't she? I think she's sort of like surprisingly tough. She doesn't even realise she is until things happen to her and she goes... I think she starts off and she's like this very delicate little flower, and then as time goes on she gets more and more resilient, and I think the whole journey for her is about actually learning that she's kind of great and really clever and better than what she's been getting. She deserves better.
I was going to ask, did her role, though, as a woman in a male-dominated industry, it's a period piece, did that play into your mindset and, you know, for the portrayal? Of
course. I mean, Catrin's actually based on a real character, a woman called Diana Morgan, who was a writer for Ealing Studios, which is a big film company that were making a lot of comedy and propaganda film in that period. And Diana Morgan was a writer that was brought in by the film company to write the nausea, they called it, which was the female dialogue. And actually she was very, very talented, and after the war she made a lot of movies. She wrote a lot of movies and with a pseudonym, so as a male writer, she had a men's name so that she could be on the poster, because they wouldn't put a woman's name on the poster unless they were an actor. So, yeah, I thought about what it must have been like back in the day, especially now. You know, now it's different. You know, women are in the workplace, we have a voice. But then it was really extraordinary for a woman to be in that sort of situation, really extraordinary. Even in the 60s, women were not in creative positions like that. So, yeah, we still have a way to go as well. I'm not saying that we're kind of, you know, there, but... especially just in the 40s as well, sexism was just a regular thing. One of the earliest things that Catrin's told is that she cannot be paid as much as the men, and she just accepts it. It's not even like, hang on a minute, but she just goes, oh yeah, of course, you know, because that's the way it is. And then later on she challenges it when she starts to understand that she should be getting paid more. Yeah, so she's an extraordinary character for someone in the 1940s.
Is it interesting, though, to make a film about making a film? The uniqueness must have just been, you don't get the opportunity to do that as an actor a lot of times.
We don't. I mean, there have been a few films about making a film, but as an actor, definitely, for me to play a screenwriter, was really refreshing and interesting, because I realised that screenwriters get really badly treated. You know, like the actors come in and they change the lines and they want ownership over this and that and, you know, whatever. It was good for me in that respect. But we all, making the film, were so passionate about filmmaking, and I felt like that was our favourite stuff to make, was the film within the film stuff. And we knew what we were doing. We knew what we were talking about for once in our lives, because we make films all the time.
There's a scene that you're in your office and the bombs are going off outside. Could you feel the intensity? That must have been just scary, too. I know it's a movie, but the fact
there were not really bombs going off.
No, I figured that much. But was that just scary to have?
Yeah, and, you know, I think we spoke to a lot of people that lived through the Blitz in London, and it was a nightly occurrence. I mean, they would hear bombs going off and they would be in their air raid shelters or they would be underground, and they just, what happened was that people just accepted loss as something that happened. So loss of property, loss of people, and they just got on with it. And I think that's, you know, it was an extraordinary time in history when there's an inner city war going on. You know, like London was under attack and people were living there and they just got on with it. And people are really incredible in desperate times, how they can kind of Just be resilient and get through it. And I guess Catrin, in the film, the script is so important to her that she, for so many reasons, that she has to kind of just get through it and not worry about the bomb going off. And actually, her staying in that office and writing the script saved her life, because if she'd have been at home, she would have been killed in the bombing.